The young Sheldon spoilers reveal that everything seemed normal in Medford Elementary until a new transfer student, Lucas Montgomery, joined Sheldon's math class. Unlike the usual wide-eyed awe Sheldon received, Lucas didn't seem impressed by Sheldon's academic reputation. In fact, he challenged Sheldon during a lesson on theoretical physics, correcting one of his equations on the board in front of everyone. Sheldon froze. This had never happened before. The class went silent, and even the teacher, Mrs. Ingram, blinked in disbelief. Sheldon turned to Lucas. "You must have made an error. I double-checked that formula using Einstein's notes." But Lucas replied calmly, "Yes, and Einstein also thought the universe was static. Everyone makes mistakes." For the first time, Sheldon felt something unfamiliar: intellectual rivalry. That evening, Sheldon skipped his usual rerun of Star Trek and buried himself in his notes, double and triple-checking his calculations. Mary noticed his worry and asked if he was okay, but Sheldon dismissed her with a shrug. Deep down, however, he felt the ground shaking under his certainty. At dinner, he barely touched his mashed potatoes. Even Meemaw's jokes couldn't cheer him up. "He's been like that since the new kid showed up," Missy whispered. George raised an eyebrow. "What new kid?" And that's when Mary realized something bigger might be happening. Lucas wasn't just smart. He was a threat to Sheldon's identity. The next day, Sheldon approached Lucas during recess with a challenge. A spontaneous quiz-off in front of the principal, 2 teachers, and anyone who dared to watch. Lucas accepted with a smirk. The entire school buzzed with anticipation. Georgie took bets. Missy brought popcorn. And Meemaw showed up with her lawn chair like it was a boxing match. The quiz-off began. Equations flew, logic puzzles rattled, and at one point, even Dr. Sturgis was brought in to verify an answer. The final question came down to solving a theoretical paradox involving quantum entanglement. Lucas hesitated. Sheldon pounced, and solved it in 14 seconds. The crowd erupted, but something strange happened. Lucas didn't seem upset. In fact, he smiled and said, "You win, Sheldon." This time. That night, Sheldon received a mysterious note under his door. It read, "Meet me in room 106 tomorrow. There's more to knowledge than equations." He couldn't sleep. What did Lucas mean? Why room 106? That room had been closed for years, supposedly due to asbestos. Sheldon's curiosity overwhelmed him. He made up his mind. Tomorrow, he'd go there alone. The following morning, Sheldon walked nervously through the quiet halls of Medford Elementary. Room 106 had always been considered off-limits, a dark, dusty space with rumors of being haunted. But when he reached the door, it was unlocked. Inside, the room was nothing like he expected. It was a makeshift laboratory. Books lined the walls. Advanced computers hummed. Strange blueprints were scattered across tables. And in the middle of it all stood Lucas. "I knew you'd come," Lucas said. "Welcome to the real classroom." Lucas revealed that his parents were experimental physicists working for a classified research lab. They moved from town to town, enrolling Lucas under false identities so he could secretly test the Gifted Child Integration Program, a secret government-funded project to identify and nurture potential geniuses under the radar. Room 106 was set up just for him. Sheldon blinked. "Are you saying you're a government project?" Lucas smirked. "A prototype just like you." The words hit Sheldon like a meteor. For so long, he thought he was alone in his brilliance, misunderstood by a world obsessed with sports and pop culture. Now, standing in front of him was someone like him, perhaps even more advanced. Lucas continued, "We're building a network of minds across the country. Kids like us. We think differently. We can fix the future. But not if we keep battling each other." Over the next few weeks, the two geniuses formed an unlikely partnership. Together, They built a prototype for a low-energy quantum computer using old motherboard scraps and borrowed science fair supplies. But as their collaboration grew, so did their friendship, and soon, their differences became clear. Sheldon believed in strict logic, order, and rules. Lucas, however, embraced creativity, chaos, and intuition. One night, during a heated debate, Lucas said something that shook Sheldon to his core. "If you can't think beyond the numbers, you'll never change the world. You'll just describe it." The next day, Lucas was gone. No goodbye. No warning. Room 106 was cleared out as if it never existed. The principal claimed it had always been storage. The teachers had no memory of Lucas. Even the class photo showed no sign of him. Sheldon was devastated. Was it all a dream? A simulation? A government cover-up? He returned to the now-empty room 106 and found one thing. A single sticky note taped under the desk. It read, "One day, we'll meet again. Maybe at MIT. Maybe on Mars. Keep questioning everything, L." As Sheldon walked home that evening, under the soft orange sky, something had changed. He didn't feel superior or threatened. He felt inspired. He had met someone who challenged not just his mind, but his worldview. Lucas had opened a door in Sheldon's brain that would never close again. And in the voice of adult Sheldon, we hear, "People think growing up is about getting taller or older. But for me, it was about that one boy, that one room, and that one impossible equation. The one that finally taught me that knowledge isn't about knowing more. It's about understanding deeper."